From patterns to possibilities to prophecy. Here it goes. If leverage comes from content and content gives you authority, if imagination defines your perspectives and perspectives defines your limits, look at the depth of it. Because everybody's imagination, I mean, that's what I believe, right? That's my imagination defines my perspective, right? Hi, I recently built my first ever Salesforce Agent Force agent on live broadcast, even after failing for about 50 times before I went live. So, right after that, I had to challenge myself to do more. And I took up a challenge. So, I took up an accountability challenge to publish every day for at least 45 minutes for at least 7 days on live broadcast. This was difficult because currently I don't have audience. There are only 17 subscribers. 17 is still huge number because for a beginner, I don't really know how to build the great Salesforce agent force agent yet. So broadcast. There are some people who are looking forward to following this content, and of course there are this content is like going to be there forever. It's internet, right? So yes, the challenge is like it's stupid. It's difficult. It's it's difficult. It was difficult in my head, so I had to push my limits and I had to take up this challenge. What happened right after this publishing my first video, which I published on 28th of June, I was confused. I don't know. I did not know what to do. So I took up this accountability challenge to live broadcast for at least 45 days for at least 7 days. This is difficult. Although I do not have audience at this moment, much audience at this moment, but of course this is internet. It remembers, and it is dangerous also because people may decide to never hire me again after looking at my stupid content, right? But that's me. That's my method of working, right? And I needed to push myself. I needed to challenge myself. So I published this thought to take up this accountability challenge on Salesforce Slack community, Salesforce Agent Force Slack community. Okay, and I also posted on Twitter. There it is. Okay, then this is where I'm talking about my audience, which is like I have some 17 audience. Which is like coming back, and 17 is not a small number, right? 17 is like people who understand the topic maybe, and they are looking forward to my content, my theories maybe. I don't know them yet. So the point is I took up this challenge. Now what happened after that is that I was really confused after going live for the first video, and I was confused because the delivery was off. It felt stupid inside. And I was not really confident about actually marketing that content in my network anywhere, right? So this is internet, right? It remembers, it knows. Some client may never hire me looking at that content. So I had to find a way to push myself. I had to find a way to build some confidence again to push myself to continue this accountability challenge in public, and that's my method of working. That's how I'm marketing myself. That's my skill. That's my best skill if you talk about it. So that was about 12:30 in the morning, and there were some words coming out from inner me to push myself, and that's where this poem came in. I did not write a single word of that poem using ChatGPT. Here's the poem. And writing poems in the age of artificial intelligence without using artificial intelligence feels good, feels very good, because it touches the heart when we write things with our hands, with our brains, right? Of course, ChatGPT can write thousands of poems for you, but they don't touch your heart. They don't touch your heart. So this is a poem I wrote. Yes, I gave it a name using ChatGPT. I designed this. What do I call this? Featured image, but it's a deeper meaning, right? Um, Let me describe the image first. It's a matrix theme with Oracle and maybe Neo, and I strongly believe in in Matrix. I strongly believe there's a loophole. I strongly believe that we need to fight the agents, and since the agents are coming, we are building our agents ourselves. We need to fight the agents sometime soon, of course. So that is why this theme, right? From patterns to possibilities to prophecy. Here it goes. If leverage comes from content and content gives you authority, if imagination defines your perspectives and perspectives defines your limits, look at the depth of it. Because everybody's imagination, I mean, that's what I believe, right? That's my imagination defines my perspective, right? My imagination defines my limits, and of course, content gives me authority. Depends on the content, how valuable it is, or how entertaining it is for someone. So, but yeah, if opinions, processes, and methods are all that matter, and if opinions form actions, outcome, and build up confidence, that's a very, very specific part I'm talking about, because whatever we do, we depend on our own opinions, right? Hmm? All you need to do is continue writing your story in public. I mean, if you write, you don't publish, are you even writing? Because writing is thinking and creating patterns. I hope you believe, you concur with my thoughts there. Um if you don't, do let me know. I want to have a debate maybe. Writing is thinking and creating patterns, and thinking helps you observe patterns. That's how we need to observe our patterns, right? Then the useless patterns would automatically start to break. Leverage would compound. Because when you care about the details, you expose your opinions, and you're ready to be wrong, and you shoot for the stars, you start writing poems. That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to inspire myself. I hope it inspires somebody else too. You start writing poems, you begin doing best work. You push your past your limits. You end up making magic. Systems would get iterated and automated. Yeah. Iteration is a very important part of a building process, right? The funnel would finally start to yield value. And I mean, let me express myself. I look at the funnels in a very unique way, I believe. That is, every conversation is a funnel. Every conversation is a funnel. There is a best case scenario for every conversation, there's a worst case scenario for every conversation, and there's a general part of every conversation. So if we are if we are moving towards the best case scenario or the worst case scenario, the funnel decides. Well, not the funnel decides, but the conversation decides. And I'll not get into the definition of the term conversation at this stage. I have published it multiple times. I'll come back to this soon. So I'll share that link in the description. The point is, every conversation is a funnel, and I hope you believe that too. I hope you understand that, and if you don't concur with that thought too, please let me know. Optimizations would come from the discipline and Socratic questioning, and that's my method of working. I keep questioning things. I rather than delivering, I question things more. And that's my this content is my marketing part also, because that's the pure me. That's how I'm exposing myself to the universe out there. Documented execution would become the feedback loop. Importance of documentation, right? That's what I'm actually saying it. All this put into AI enabled system, you'll have a recipe for the magic. What else do we need if there's a system that is enabled by artificial intelligence? Because to succeed in anything, well, attention, like a deep tunnel vision and a damn iterative process is all you need, right? So I got this next part from Arthur C. Clarke, his second law in his essay, Hazards of Prophecy, the Failure of Imagination. I wanted to include that part of about imagination also, that the only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. You have to keep trying, right? And I connected the dots with my previous poems here also. This is my next previous poem, because the journey has to last. I'll not be reading that today. And if something sounds difficult, please ask the right questions. Right? The journey has to last, friends. And if things sound difficult, please ask the right questions. These are three separate poems. The last one is not a poem. Design your dreams carefully. I'm just connecting my 2021 essay that I've written to myself from 2032, I think. Yeah, I wrote a letter to myself in 2021 from 2032. Okay. And nothing else matters, friends. That's all that matters. Just keep inspiring yourself, keep pushing yourself. This is my website home, where I'm talking about my services as a Salesforce Agentforce service provider. I am at this stage, I'm offering my services to get you ready up to the mark for agent implementation. So if you have not implemented your agents yet, if you are thinking about implementing your agents, let's think about the readiness first. See you soon. If you are, if you find my thoughts, maybe my philosophies worth, collaboration, I'll be right here. My website has a calendar link in the bottom of it. I'll share the link. Have a good day. Thank you. This was fun. This is fun.